Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are setting up my May 2023 reading wrap-up. This month I was able to read 20 books, bringing my total to 91 books for the year. 4 of those books were a part of my 23 books to read in 2023, and that included Spice Road, which I gave 4 stars to, The Bone Shard War, which I also gave 4 stars. I also read T. Kingfisher's A House with Good Bones, which I gave 5 stars to, and I read The Battle Drum, which I gave 4 stars to. So overall, a really good reading month for my 23 books to read in 2023. Next up is just filling in my reading tracker. I am past the halfway point, so I definitely expect to exceed my reading goal this year, but my total is now at 91 books, but usually during the summer my reading tapers off a bit just because I have a lot more going on, but I definitely expect to surpass the 150 book mark in the next couple of months. I was able to read 1 book off of my physical TBR, which was Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, hoping to mark off a couple more in June. And then for May, a lot of great book releases. I was able to acquire almost all of them, so just highlighting those that are now on my physical shelf. And then we have my ABC challenge. I was able to add quite a few books to this challenge this month, with Arch Conspirator by Veronica Roth, Electra by Jennifer Saint, Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, A Master of Gin by P. Jelly Clark, and then Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabriela Zevin. Next up, we have my favorite book of May, which was A Master of Gin by P. Jelly Clark. Since it was one of my highest rated and favorite books of the month, I will be talking about it more during my review period of this video. But for our book club this month, our theme was poetry, and we selected Pocahontas by Tay Tibble. Moving on to my May title page and statistics for my reads this month. Per usual, just collecting a bunch of scrap paper that I ripped up and kind of sized beforehand to make this process a little bit quicker. But I just grabbed this from a scrapbooking packet that I got at Michael's. You can find any kinds of these at the store at all times of the year. This one I've had for a while, so I don't know if they have it anymore, but I basically just do what I've been doing, which is layering various versions of this theme, which is a floral pattern with some solid colors on top of each other, and then I do print both the months and the demographics for the books that I've read on sticker paper, which is linked below. But moving on to the stats of my May reads. For the mood, no surprise here, 14 of them were in the adventurous category, while 11 were in the mysterious, 9 were emotional, 4 were dark, 2 were tense, and 2 were reflective. For the genres, again, no surprise, 13 of them were in the fantasy genre, 5 of them were in the LGBTQIA+ genre, 4 were young adult, 3 were mystery, 3 were literary, 3 were historical, 2 were sci-fi, and 2 were romance. And then for the demographics, 12 of them were by Caucasian authors, 2 of them were, however, Jewish authors, which, if you are unaware, May is Jewish Heritage Month, so I wanted to incorporate a couple Jewish authors into my reads this month. 6 were LGBTQIA+, 3 were AAPI, 3 were Black or African, and 2 were Middle Eastern. And then for my ratings, I had 2 5-star reads, I had 11 4-star reads, I had 6 3-star reads, and I had 1 2-star read. And then in the format, again, most were audiobooks, with 85% of the books I read in audio format, 10 were digital, and 5 were print. And then this month, sadly, I did not read any indie authors. They were all traditionally published, but I'm thinking for July that I kind of move to my Kindle Unlimited subscription, which is being heavily ignored these past couple months, and really tackle my TBR for my Kindle Unlimited and indie author list. Moving on to the review portion of my setup, I chose 8 books to review, most of them coming from either my book challenges or just my highest rated favorite reads of the month, starting with Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabriela Zevin. This was a very popular book last year. It was on a lot of top lists, and so I finally read this, and it focuses around the story of Sam and Sadie, 2 unlikely friends who meet in a hospital when they are young. One is there to visit their sister, and the other is there recovering after a tragic car crash. And then the story really takes place 8 years after them meeting, when they're both in Boston attending college. I thought this book was really captivating and thought-provoking, and delved into the themes of identity, morality, and the power of memories, since there are a lot of flashbacks. For readers who appreciate character development and the exploration of deep themes, this is a great book, and it certainly lives up to the hype. The incorporation of gaming and pop culture elements added an exciting layer to the plot for me, and it made the story feel fresh and relevant. Zevin seamlessly weaves these elements into the narrative, enhancing and making it an immersive experience for readers. Even though the ending wasn't my favorite, I still gave this book 4 stars, and I listened to it on audiobook. But if you're really looking for a well-written piece that has a unique perspective on really platonic relationships between 2 friends, then I highly recommend it. I also read Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. This is actually my first Naomi Novik book. I actually have a lot, but I wanted to read this one because it was one of my book of the month picks, and this is a really enchanting and beautifully woven tale that masterfully combines strong characters, intricate storytelling, and vivid imagery. Set in a world where folklore and magic intertwine, the story follows Miriam, a young Jewish woman who takes on the role of her father as a moneylender and discovers her ability to transform silver into gold with only her wit and determination at her disposal. The story itself is intricately plotted, weaving together multiple perspectives and storylines, and it really keeps you engaged as a reader because you want to basically see what happens to these characters. Novik's attention to detail brings a tangible quality to the world that she's created, and it highlights it heightens the overall reading experience. So basically this novel was really remarkable for me. I really liked it and enjoyed it. Novik has a talent for crafting strong characters and intricate stories, and I definitely want to check out more of her books, but I listened to this on audiobook and gave it 4 stars. Next up, we have another book that's been on my TBR for a while, and that is The Island of Missing Trees. This is a masterful and poignant tale that weaves together the rich tapestry of history with vivid imagery and heartbreaking revelations. This novel is a captivating exploration of the civil war in Cyprus and the devastating consequences of war on individuals, families, and communities. Shafik's storytelling prowess shines through every page, enveloping readers in a world filled with beauty, tragedy, and resilience. The story unfolds through multiple perspectives, including that of a fig tree, and allows us to experience the turmoil and struggles from different angles. The characters are intricately developed, and their journeys are deeply moving. What sets this novel apart is its ability to capture the devastating impact of war on individuals and communities. Through her lyrical prose, Shafik explores the profound loss, displacement, and longing experienced by those affected by the civil war in Cyprus, and her ability to balance the dark and heartbreaking aspects of the story with moments of hope and love is truly remarkable. Highly recommend. I listened to this on audiobook and gave it 4 stars. Next up, we have one of my most anticipated reads of the year, and that is the second installment of the Ending Fire trilogy by Saara El-Arifi. The Battle Drum is an exceptional continuation of this trilogy, expanding on the captivating world building and delivering a larger exploration of the main characters and the world that they inhabit. The story picks up where the previous book left off, thrusting us back into the intricacies of the Warden's empire. Anor, the first blue-blooded disciple, is being accused of a murder she did not commit, plunging her short-lived political career into chaos. Meanwhile, Scylla embarks on a daring quest through new lands, and we find Hassa in a web of secrets that deepens as she becomes entangled in a trail of crimes within the city. What I loved most about the Battle Drum is how it expanded upon the world building established in the previous book. It also shines in its development of the supporting characters who played minor roles in the first book. Their growth and the deepening of their storylines added a layer of complexity to the narrative and was a definite highlight for me. I read this on a digital e-arc and gave it 4 stars. Next up, we have my 2 5-star reads of May, and that is A Master of Djinn by P. Jelly Clark and A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. A Master of Djinn is an absolute gem of a book that kept me enthralled from beginning to end, and the incredible audiobook narrator was one of the highlights for sure. It is set against the vibrant backdrop of 1912 Cairo and immerses readers in a world of magic, mystery, and historical intrigue. The synopsis captures the essence of the story perfectly, promising a thrilling murder mystery with a historical twist. The plot is gripping and the stakes are high as Fatma, our MC, delves into the case, unraveling a web of secrets and conspiracies. The world building is outstanding, with each magical element and supernatural entity adding depth and intrigue to the narrative. The vivid imagery of 1910's Cairo is simply breathtaking. Clark's attention to detail brings the city to life, from the bustling streets and markets to the rich cultural tapestry. The blend of historical elements with fantastical steampunk elements is seamlessly done, creating a vibrant and immersive setting that you won't want to leave. I gave this 5 stars and listened to it on audiobook. And then we have A House with Good Bones. This is one of my 23 books to read in 2023, and I read this in one sitting. It was so great. T. Kingfisher has this way with sarcastic words that in this book, I think it was one of my favorite elements. The characters in this novel stand out as well. Each one is unique, well developed, and adds depth to the story. The setting of the story is wonderfully atmospheric and eerie. Even the house itself is kind of a character in its own right, with its hidden secrets and mysterious past. But again, what truly sets this book apart is Kingfisher's sarcastic and witty writing style. Her clever remarks and dry humor infuse the story with a unique charm that will have you chuckling and smirking even in such a dire setting. The balance between lighthearted banter and darker, more suspenseful moments is expertly handled, and it's definitely made Kingfisher one of my favorite authors that I've read this year. And last up, we have Spice Road and the Bone Shard War. Spice Road by Maiya Ibrahim is a breathtaking and immersive novel that skillfully explores Middle Eastern and Arab cultures while weaving together a captivating story consisting of personal growth, complex characters, and important themes, including the long-reaching arms of colonization. The highlight of this book was definitely the portrayal of the world and the diverse Middle Eastern and Arab cultures that it encompasses. The author's vivid descriptions and meticulous attention to detail bring the settings to life, really immersing the readers in the landscapes, the markets, and even the traditions that take place. Moreover, Spice Road delves into important themes, including the long-reaching arms of colonization. The narrative sheds light on the ongoing struggles, generational trauma, and the fight for cultural preservation in the face of oppressive forces. And by delving into these themes, the novel invites readers to reflect on the broader implications of colonization and its lingering effects on societies and individuals. But in conclusion, this was really a great read. And I really thought the world building, the character arcs, and even the supporting characters were all top notch. I listened to this on audiobook and gave it 4 stars. And then we have the Bone Shard War, which was bittersweet because it was the final installment in the Drowning Empire series. I have fallen in love with this series this year. It is by far my top series of 2023 so far. I really don't see anything surpassing it, but this was a pretty satisfying conclusion to an exceptional trilogy, and it's for devoted fans of this series. I can say that this final installment delivers almost on every front with exceptional twists, jaw-dropping revelations, and heart-wrenching moments that will definitely stay with you after you conclude the book. Stewart's ability to conclude our beloved character stories in an unexpected way is a testament to her skill as a storyteller. She definitely subverts predictions and takes us on a thrilling journey that keeps us guessing until the very end, and the character arcs are beautifully developed. Basically, my only criticism I found myself was getting confused by the timeline a bit when we switch from different point of views, but overall, I just thought this was a great ending to a great trilogy, and I highly recommend you check it out. I listened to it on audiobook and gave it 4 stars. Here is my final flip through of my May 2023 reading wrap up. If you're curious about ratings and reviews for all of the other books that I read this month, be sure to go and befriend me or check out my Goodreads page where I review almost all of the books that I read, as well as have a list of all the books that I want to read as well. But thank you again for joining me today. Always love the support, so if you like this video and the books that I shared, be sure to hit that like button, and if you don't want to miss any of my upcoming videos, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. But until next time, happy reading.